Hello, all. Today we're going to talk about a few annotations. Annotations like auto-wire and similar annotations, similar and equivalent annotations of the auto-wire are resource, and we have other equivalent annotation that is inject, right? Inject. So all these are same, but the auto-wire is from the it's from the Spring framework, and whereas the resource is from the JSR, Oracle, Oracle CDI. CD is nothing but it's nothing but context and dependency dependency injection. So it's from the Oracle CDI, which is from present in JSR to it's present in the 250 present in JSR 250. So JSR is nothing but the combination of the JSR forms the specification. Okay, so this at the reserve annotations from the Oracle CDI, and it's present in the JSR 250. So when we add Maven JSR 250 dependency, automatically will be this at the rate resource will be annotation will be available. The same way, inject is also from the it's also from the Oracle CDI, but it's present from the JSR JSR from the Java specification request 330. It's from 330. So it is also from the actually the main difference. So if at all we want to go with the Spring framework, we can make use of the at the rate auto-wire. But if at all you want to make use of the resource, we can also make so the resource and inject and auto-wire. So all these three are same and they mean the same and the functionality is same. Okay, but they are from the different vendors. So at the rate resources from the Oracle later on, why it came up with the two annotations like at the resource and at the rate inject is because the resource is not the naming convention. It doesn't look good. So it came up with a one more annotation that's nothing but at the rate inject. So although even though the functionality is same for both this thing, but the Oracle came up with a new word that's nothing but at the rate inject. So we can make use of any of these three and uh, and form the auto-wire dependency between the two classes. So let's first of all let's go with auto-wire. And whereas this from the Oracle. So the JSR, what is JSR is nothing but JSR is nothing but Java specification request. So the combination of JSR forms the specification. Okay, so that's about this thing. So let's start working on these three annotations. First of all, this is my project. You can see, and this is my class. Let me create two annotations. First one is person, and immediately after creating the person, it's a good practice to write configuration. Okay, so configuration. Immediately after start writing any theme, it's a good practice to add configuration. Okay. So other important thing, if at all this the we also need. So this is nothing but the bean. If you write this thing, it's not required to write the bean annotations, bean tags in the XML bean configuration. And if it all we it's not if at all we don't want to go with the bean configuration file itself, then we should go for the um, component scan. Let me Yeah, component scan. In the component scan, you need to give the base package. So it's going to scan all the things, all the classes, things related to the com.asif. So here it's going to search for this package. So all the classes present in this the package is going to read. Okay. So this is my person class. Let me create few instance variables. Private teacher query and private string name, and let me create address. So I'm referring to the address. Address is class. Let me create a class address. Okay, the name. What's the name? Okay, let me finish it. So you can see I have created that address. Immediately after writing anything, as I said, it's always good practice to write. Okay, and inside it, let me have one instance variable, private string state. State. So I have the instance. Go to the person class. You can see I have the instance variables. One is I'm calling the address class. Okay, so address is the inner class. So let me add a variables to it to add the values to the ID. Let me hard code for now. Control space. Let me say, so say 10. So here I will say I'll add my name. Here as this is the class, in a class we need to auto-wire. That's how we create a dependency between two classes. Okay, so to add the dependency, what we're going to do is auto-wire. By default, its state will be true. Okay, so if I don't mention anything, its state will be true. Okay, so I have created the dependency between this and this. So let me add value up here. So to add value, I will say string. I will add a string here. So let me create and get us and set us. Control Shift S and say generate set us and get us. I'll select all. Say generate, save it next. Put address and here also generate get us and set us. And yeah, select all and say generate and get us. Let me have a toString here. Say toString. And even in the address I will have toString. So control space. Now I have the two beans now. So adding the component scan at one class is quite enough. So I have the two beans. So address is the inner bean. I'm calling it from the person. So that's the reason why I have added AutoWire, because I'm calling the address class, created the variable for it. Okay. So I have created dependency by using AutoWire. Let me save it. Let me create a main class. Say new class is my main class. I'm going to name it as app. The finish. Remove unwanted things. Now let me create a container. Let's say new annotation config and space application context, right? Control when I assign this thing, I will name it as container. And so whenever we add the container, let me create a bean. Container dot get bean. Okay. So say person, I'll create the bean for the person, and assign it to the person and call the toString method. Here use person and let me run. Oh, I got some problem with saying that annotation. The annotation has not been refreshed. So it's saying that it's not been refreshed. Annotation application context needs to be refreshed. Okay. So to refresh, um, it's always good practice to close our application context immediately after using it. So let me add that one here. And so before that, it's asking us to refresh. Before um, refresh, I need to um, register my class. So what's the class? It's so this is my class I registered. Now I have closed the kind of container. I have refreshed it. Before that, I have registered the class. I have created the bean. So everything looks good now. So let me run it. Oh, we got a problem again. What's the problem now? The thing has not have been refreshed yet. Has not been refreshed yet. Okay, again it's saying the same problem. Mhm. I believe first of all we need to refresh. Only then I think we should make use of we did create the get bean. So let me add it here and save it. And now write my Java application. Now it should work fine here. You can see it here. I got the values. I just forgot to create. We need some indication just to know whether the object is created for it. For it, I will say I will add a default constructor and I will save. Even in the address, let me add a default construct. Control space address. Delete it. Okay, now let me run it again. So you can see the person object is created, then the address object is created. Next, I got the values 10, name, and the address. This is by the auto wire. If you don't specify the auto wire, let's say that let me say where is the auto wire? Yeah. If I say type is equal to false, okay, required is equal to false. Let's say that I've set the auto wire is equal to false. So let me run it again. So if I set the auto wire is equal to false, it's going to take the default value. What with why? Let me remove this one. Let me run it again. Yeah, you can see as the auto wire to the address is not given, it will take it as false. So the default values of the state, even though we have provided, it will take it as null. Okay, so that's what we got. So to add the dependency, we are using auto white. Okay. So now, as I said that, already said that auto wire is from the Spring. So let's use the resource, a resource of Oracle, and also use inject, which is also from Oracle. So let's first of all let me go with the @. Resource. To make use of @resource, I need to add JSR 250 dependency. For it, I will say we'll go to Google and say JSR 250 Maven dependency. Select this Maven central repository. Go with the first one, copy it, and let me go to pom.xml. So here you can see just got so let me add the dependency here. So I'm adding the dependency here. You can see just added the 250 JSR 250 dependency. Let me save it. Once I save it, I'll go to manual dependencies. You can see we got the jar file. Let me expand it and expand and go to the JavaX annotation. You can see it has these 5 annotations. What is it? What are they? Generated, post construct, pre-destroy, resource, and resources. So as of now, we are making use of resource annotation. Okay. So as we have added JSR 250, definitely @ resource will be available. So let me comment this. Comment this and add @resource. Control space. See, with some of the Java annotations. The corresponding the package will be added. Easy ported. So as we have commented AutoWire, and we are making use of resources of JSR 250, which is from the Oracle. So let's uh, run this and check whether it's working fine or not. Run as Java application. Oh, person object is created, address object is created, and we got the required output. And here you can see with AutoWire, we are getting this output. Okay, so with this, we got to know that required is working same to AutoWire. So as I say that Oracle was not happy with this thing, with this naming convention, so they came up with one more annotation that's nothing but inject, which comes with the JSR 330. So it's alternative to the inject, alternative to the resource. So let's try this. So to try this, we need to add JSR 330 Maven dependency. First of all, let's go to Google, search for the JSR 330 Maven dependency. Go here, click it, copy, and go to pom.xml and add that dependency. So this is where I have added JSR 330 dependency. Let me save it. After saving, it's going to build the workspace and download required dependencies. So after adding this thing, you can see all these last 5 jar files got added. Code SLF4, SLF log4j, API log4j2 1.2, and along with it javax.inject. So let's expand this and check what are the different annotations it has. So you can see inject is one of the annotation, named is other annotation, provider, qualifier, scope, singleton. So all these are different annotations. So as we are concerned with only just inject, let's use this annotation. So let me go to %.java and comment this resource annotation and use the inject control space. Okay, save. So I can see java inject dot inject package got imported. So let me run this, check whether it's working as same. Yes, you can see it has internally created dependency to the address class file and got the value. Yes. Okay. So with this, the conclusion is all these three annotations: auto-write, resource, inject, all three work in the same manner. So there is no difference. We can use any of these three. So I will go with the auto-wire, which is provided by the Spring. Okay. So this is all about the different dependency techniques by using these three different annotations provided by different vendors. So all these provide a dependency injection, and we can use any of these three, but it is always recommended to use resource or inject for the dependency injection. So the topic is about it's about the dependency injection. Okay. So with these annotations, we can create the dependency injection. So